Hey, what's up, Lauren? How are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm Jordan, by the way, here in
Hello.
Minneapolis. Thank you for taking the time. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys for. I don't really talk to very many people during the day, so this is like.
Yeah, it's awesome. Hold up, before my cat leaves, we gotta talk about our cats. How are the kittens? Oh,
Oh,
there we go.
there's
Is he left? Are
yes.
they around?
Did not consent to being on the video. They're in here somewhere. Wait, yes. Oh, there we go. I don't know. I don't know. How do I turn it around?
Oh
There you
my
go. This is
gosh.
the content that we all crave.
Yep.
So
Oh
one's
my.
in, and the other one is under the couch currently. A little further away.
Have they been keeping you company in quarantine?
Yes, we've been having a nice. I feel like a little. Spend a lot of my time thinking about poop. I'm like, who has pooped? Who hasn't pooped? What's the consistency of the poop? Are our tummies fine? There's a lot of and good job when they've done it in the correct place. So yes, I am a poop detective now.
Aren't we all? That's just being a pet. That's just being a. I don't like to say pet owner. That's like being a pet parent, a pet friend, pet
I
roommate.
watched
A lot of poop inspected.
My Cat from Hell, and the guy in that uses the phrase cat guardian. So you're a cat
I
guardian.
like that.
Yeah.
I don't like the phrase pet owner or like pet parent. I feel like this is me way overthinking it, but it seems disrespectful to the animal. I'm an equal to you.
And it's
So
never, no offense to anybody in the comments who does this, but if people are like, go to daddy, I'm like I just can't.
it is cringy. I don't rock with it.
It's a bit much.
How long have you had them, and what are their names?
Wow. This is the content everybody wanted. People
Yeah.
want to hear me talking about stuff. They want to hear me talk about cats.
We'll get there.
Well, we got them from a rescue center. Adopt, don't shop, guys.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we've been on a list for foster or adoption for a while, just because myself and my partner are both musicians. So if we're both touring, we can't really have pets, and given that we probably won't tour for the foreseeable future, I was like, well, now is the time. So we've been on lists, but I guess a lot of fosters have been taken, and because people are not outside as much, they weren't finding homeless cats in this to the same degree. But yes, they got found last week, and we got them on Sunday, I guess.
Oh wow.
So they were pre-named. They were named Poppy and Cactus, which is very cute. Two sisters from the same litter. So now I kind of I've got a little inbuilt coven. I've made my own coven. So,
Congratulations on the kitten family. That's wonderful. That's really cool. I'm really happy for your future pet journey. I've had my cat for about 2 years now, and you're just in for just a ride. They seem to be adjusting well, which is great since you're home all the time, probably.
I think so, yes. And yeah, they don't seem like they hate us, which is good. That was my fear. I was like, but then I've got a lot of time to lie on my belly on the ground and try and make them like me. So I'm going to concentrate
oh my goodness.
on the cat. I'm not going to. She's having a drink, everyone. Just so you
I
know,
understand.
having a drink.
Like you said, it's the content they want. So we were soliciting for questions, and we got a bunch about what you've been doing creatively forever and all that. So we're gonna dive into a mix of fan questions and some that I have synthesized, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, please.
So we got a lot of questions about any books that you're reading right now, an unputdownable book that you're reading in quarantine, or the most recent one you've had recently.
What did I finished the Debbie Harry book a few weeks ago. Very good. Can recommend. And I'm also reading. Oh, almost in a cat. This I don't know if Louis Theroux is as much of a thing in America, but he's a British journalist, documentary filmmaker guy, and he does a lot of cool long form interview things. And he started on Michael Moore's show like back late 80s, early 90s. So interesting guy. Has talked to a lot of interesting people. Talked to Joe Exotic before Tiger King.
Wow.
So, the information you need.
Have you dove into Tiger King, or what's been occupying your visual stimuli necessities?
We did watch Tiger King before I had tiny tigers.
Yep.
But I'm up to date with The Last Dance. Because my dad is a big Bulls fan, and he was especially a big Bulls fan when we were growing up. So it's weird. I know nothing about any sports, but I have a very specific window of knowledge about basketball from that time. But yeah, so doing that, and Mrs. America, been watching that. I watch a lot of TV, basically.
What else is there to do besides watch TV, read, and then write? Be creative. Have you been writing in quarantine?
We have, yes. Now, yeah, I feel like I need to recommit to the writing because I haven't done anything for a few days because I've been staring at cats and asking them why they're so small. I don't know that. They're like, do you know you're small? And they're just like, but yeah, so we were about a month into writing the new CHVRCHES album when all the lockdowns went into place. So yeah, we had a few things to start working on, and we've been trying to do it remotely as much as we can for now. So yeah, trying.
Yeah. How's that affected the writing process, having to do it over Zoom and FaceTime? Has it inspired some new trains of thought? Or how's that been working for LP4?
I think it's harder for the guys, I think. That sounds bad. I'm like, the guys find it harder. But just because for me, I write lyrics mostly by myself anyway, so that part isn't hugely different. It's more the initial.
Oh, wow. What happened?
Hold on. There's a noise, and then everybody ran away. Oh, you just knocked something. They knocked over. Where are they?
Okay.
Oh,
It sounded much.
Oh.
Lauren, are you kidding me? That's so small.
There you go. Yeah, I hope every CHVRCHES song there needs to get playlisted on your radio station after that content. I mean.
Oh, it's been playlisted. Don't you worry.
I'm very manipulative. What were we talking about?
We were talking about the next album, writing separate.
Okay.
The virtual writing. I really thought "Love Is Dead" was so interesting because it wasn't necessarily, from what I was reading at the time and just brushing up on recently in preparation for the interview, it wasn't like romantic love. Just the idea of love is kind of left the periphery of society. I thought that was is that a fair statement? I don't want to put words in your mouth if that was a not fair articulation.
Yeah, I think overall we were just quite bummed with the state of things, and it's not like we consciously went and be like, let's write thematically about this, and this. It was more like when we had like 10, 15 songs, we were like, this is what it's all about. So, yeah, I think, and then for me, I'm like, I would rather write I don't know, like curating what you write, trying to think of what would be popular doesn't seem sensible to me. And then if anything, I feel like people came around to seeing what we were saying more after the record was out. Like when it first started coming out, I think of like some journalists were like, that's a little bit pretentious and holier than thou to write about. And I'm like, well, the world is now a giant bin bag. It was kind of a giant bin bag before, but now it's definitely a giant bin bag.
Super. It sucks. Do you see any concepts or themes, starting to become prevalent in this next process, or is it still too early to say?
No, I think we know. I mean, it might adapt a bit, but I think we have a pretty strong idea of what we're going to do. We have a working title and a working theme concept. Everyone is just going crazy in here.
I love it.
So, yeah, so we know what we're doing, but I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. But yeah, it's fun. I think it'll be fun. And we're trying to figure out ways, for the planning of it. Maybe we'll tour with it. Maybe we won't. We don't know what's going to happen. So I think it's always fun for us to be like, how can you use the visuals to tell more of the story of what it is? And I think it's going to be a fun one for that. So, yeah.
Sorry.
Cat content all the time. No, Martin doesn't really like cats. He's allergic, so he would not consent to that.
Well, so there won't be like a meow sample. Martin's not going to sample a meow and turn it into a synth. He's not allergic to the sounds.
That's true. I think he might be allergic to that taste-wise. He'd be like, no, I want to do it. But I'm like, music is separate from the cats. I don't want to be one of these people. And I understand. Some people are just like, they're just cats. I get it. They are just cats. I understand.
But yeah, I understand. You got to draw a line somewhere. I feel it.
So yes.
You're talking about visuals. I saw numerous things about the live show, and then conceptually, visual-wise, I saw you guys for the first time. I think it was last fall at the Palace here, and I thought, and that show was, I danced my face off. I embarrassed my fiance. It was great. Visually, is there a movie or TV show that inspires you, or maybe it could be, or yeah, what piece of visual art have you drawn inspiration from recently?
I guess I'm trying to think about what we talked about for the last record. I think for the last record we wanted it to be like garish almost. And I remember when we released the album cover, like I think a lot of people were like, "What? That's so ugly. What is it?" And we're like, "That's kind of the point. Like the point was like everyone's always like, put the girl on the cover, put the girl on the cover." So I was like, "Okay, we'll put her on the cover, but then we'll put like a strip over her eyes and make all the colors really bizarre." So you're doing it, but it's still kind of, sorry, I don't know if I can do this, like swearing without swearing on the idea. And like, yeah, it's meant to be garish, and then when you see it from a distance, you know what it is. So we tried to take that and put that into the live show in some ways, but it's all, I think, stuff that we like for like live visuals. I really admire everything Nine Inch Nails, a lot of the Depeche Mode stuff, like The Cure, like that kind of aesthetic. I think is where we lie, the kind of like gothier, more industrial hardcore thing. And I always like that with our band. It's like it's a pop band, but it's not, but it is, but it's not. So you can kind of take those visuals and take certain sounds and put them into a different recipe, I suppose.
Yeah, it totally works. I also found the live show to be very funny. The band's rapport was in there. You guys inject a lot of natural humor. And you can't plan those moments, obviously. But I want to know, in Lauren Mayberry's opinion, what do you think is like the funniest thing? Has there been like a satire piece from The Onion you think is super funny, or a Will Ferrell movie, or what's Lauren Mayberry's humor like?
What? Sorry, cat's ran on my foot.
It's all good.
I follow this website online called Reductress. I don't know if that knows it. And yeah, it's just a lot of, it's kind of like Onion with like a sort of feminist slant. I saw one the other day where it's like a woman standing in the kitchen at her computer and it's like, woman states that home office is now just as depressing as real office. So yeah, that, and then we've been watching going on YouTube and watching a lot of stand-up of a Scottish comedian called Billy Connolly. And yeah, I think that's comforting to me because I'm far away from my family and home friends just now. So yeah, watching something like that reminds me of home, I think, nice. Oh,
it's like kind of a nostalgic, comforting humor. And then some humor with some smart societal commentary edge. I love it.
Just enough. And then
just enough.
Yeah.
We had some listeners talk about a few years back, before your show at First Avenue, you guys went to our amusement park, Valley Fair. Is that true? Can you confirm?
Oh, I did not go because I'm a shy bag. But the guys, I think Martin went with some of the guys in the crew because he's mad for the coasters. Yeah, I used to really like it when I was younger, and I think I didn't feel fear in the same way. And now I'm like, I don't think so.
And then you grew up and you realized that the world's very scary.
Yes. Well, yeah, I'm scared of enough stuff. I don't know if I should do that. And I think I used the excuse of like, oh, don't, I've got to think about my body for the show. But really, I was just like rocking in the fetal position.
Yeah, I'm with you. Those are scary coasters. So if you're not going to Valley Fair, do you have any Minnesota memories that stick out to you?
I guess I feel like we've been really lucky. We've got to go there so many times, and always good shows. I feel like people like and respect their music there. We had there's always giant donuts when we play there. People bring the voodoo donuts. Is that?
It's from Glamdol, right? They put them on the.
Yes. Oh, it's like, and then I'm like, shouldn't eat all these giant donuts, and then play this show. But here we are. And I can't remember.
Oop, you froze.
During the fucking thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we went to a bar because we did 2 nights at the Palace Theatre, and we went to a bar afterwards. I wish I could remember the name of it. I would need to look up my map to find out. But there was weird kind of mint liqueur that they were doing.
Oh.
And that was, I sniffed it, and then I made Johnny, the drummer, take it. I was like, I don't think I can do that. So know your limits. It's important to know your limits.
Exactly. I love it. During the press run for Love is Dead in 2018, you spoke of how popular culture can dictate language and societal ideals, kind of what we talked about earlier with Reductress. Have you seen any improvements since 2018 in the way that pop culture deals with representation and equality? that like stick out to you?
I don't know. I think before festivals ceased to exist, I think it was helpful to see people discussing the representation on festivals in a more serious way. But I think when people talk about it as, yes, it's about gender representation, but there's more than that. And then when people are like, look, we put a bunch of straight white women on the festival, I'm like, oh, great. I don't really know if you get a prize for that in 2020. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like maybe a good thing that will come out of this shutdown in the music industry is that people will be forced to think about things differently, or it will get worse because it'll be like everyone has not been making money for a year and a half, so they're like, we're just gonna have to book what's popular and we know people are going to come see, so this conversation is going to take a seat. Like, I don't know, I have no idea.
I hope not. And I like your point about just, you know, like the straight white women. There's a lot of, in the wake of these conversations, there's been a lot of virtue signaling and just doing stuff to be like, hey, we are woke or whatever. And then just doing it, but to monetize it. And I feel like that could be just as, I've been really trying to be careful with how I articulate things because these are very delicate conversations. I feel like they can be almost regressive if people are trying to monopoly, you know, capitalize off of
you're
the movement.
Woke washing your thing for PR purposes and not changing. Like, I think you see it all the time with like pride stuff, and I'm not a member of that community, and I'm offended when I see that.
Yeah.
Like major corporations slapping a rainbow flag on the front of it, not donating any of the money, not changing anything about their business practices or anything.
Yeah.
But they're like, oh yay, pride, let's sell like drinks using a rainbow flag. I'm like, what is this? But
no, the real pride's putting a member of the community on your board. That's what pride is. But let's say someone wanted to dive into these things that we're talking about, whether it be representation or feminism or gender studies in general. Do you have any resources, or maybe there's a journalist or a book that you think is super, or a speaker that you think you could refer people to get that introductory start?
I don't know. There's a writer called Jessica Valenti who I think is really good. She's very smart, and she writes, I think she writes for Medium now, maybe. But yeah, she's very, I feel like when she posts things, it's not just content. It's like important thought out stuff. And I have been watching Mrs. America, which I feel, even though it's like a fictional take on historical events, it's probably good for look into history to get some foundations, I guess. So.
I was talking to Tom DeLong from Angels and Airwaves about this last week, and you know, very different but similar, talking about how, you know, how these pop culture things, whether it could be fiction, could also help make these conversations more palatable, or, you know, it could actually insist change. So I think, you know, those fictional you know, shows and books can be a great start for that. So what was the journalist's name again? One more time. Jessica
Valenti. Yeah.
Valenti, cool. And then
found the UFOs. Tom found the UFOs. Everyone was like, oh, I don't know this guy. And apparently,
there he is.
Like, NASA's using my footage of the UFOs I found.
Can you believe it? That's so cool. What do you make of that? What do you make about the existence of UFOs and aliens? What's the church's stance on that?
I don't know if we have like a unified stance on it. I don't think I've ever genuinely discussed UFOs with Ian and Martin. I wouldn't be able to guess what they would think, actually. I don't know. I don't know. I'm like, if I like, why would they want to come to here? Look at what we're doing. They'd be like, well, leave that planet.
Yeah. Whoops. Maybe that's a topic for the next conference call. Hey guys, what should we say about UFOs? What's our stance on this?
Well, I'm speaking to them tomorrow, so tomorrow at noon I'll ask them. I'll be like, first of all, UFOs. People are asking me. I don't know. I don't know.
We're getting grilled by the American press about UFOs. What should we say?
I mean, it's a new conversation, to be honest. Most of the time it's like, what is it like to be a woman in a band? What's your opinions on Me Too? Do you think anything's changed? Oh, there you go. Doc's on the comments, and he says, I believe.
Boom.
Martin says,
perfect.
All right. Oh, someone says, I want to marry Ian.
Ooh, Ian, hello.
Put in your request.
And then
in the chat, he's up above, so he's watching. Sorry, now I'm just talking to.
Oh, hey Martin, what do you think? So he believes. Okay, cool.
He does.
So we We gotta
I
get
think
Ian's
it's the little
taste.
alien emoji, which could be offensive because they may not look like that. They probably think that we look very strange. We're just little meat sacks, stretched out pigs. I don't know.
Dang. Wow, we are stretched out pigs, especially the nose too, like the way like the snout has been wow. You really did a number on my self-confidence there, Lauren.
It's all right. It's like, once you come to terms with it, it really frees you, I think.
Exactly. I feel free. We got a bunch of questions about your involvement with Death Stranding. What was it like writing what was the process of writing a song for a video game? That seems different from than just going in for an album.
Yeah, I guess it's different because you're writing to a brief or like writing something that you would hope would fit with somebody else's creativity. So, but that process was actually so easy. Like, the guys especially are huge fans of Kojima, who made the game and is obviously a legend. So, yeah, when that opportunity came through, we were like, take it. Clearly spending too much time with cats. Yeah, so, but they were just so nice about it. They were like, write a song for the game, and then told us about the game, and we got to see like some of the content. And then when we had to go write it, there wasn't even really a back and forth. We just sent them the song, and they were like, this is great, which doesn't normally happen. We've done ones before where you have to write to a brief, and people have been like, yeah, but I'm wondering if it could be like this, but like more like this. And you're like,
Interesting.
But I think it's really cool to see, because most of the time when you're writing for yourself and your own project, and then it's interesting to figure out how someone else can tell their story with your story, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's kind of they're delegating that emotional feel. The soundtrack of a movie or video game can make or break it, and you got to make it. That's so sick. What do you have a favorite video game? Do you play?
See, I'm an imposter because I am not the gamer in the group. Honestly, when I was growing up, my mom was like, we're not doing video games. So I fully believed for a long time that Maybe Speak and Teaches Typing was classed as a video game. I believed that. I was always like, I've got to make sure the penguins don't fall off the block. And I am a very fast typer. It helped me a lot in my pre-band work life. But yeah, I don't really. I used to play like Mario versus Yoshi.
Amazing.
Very specific. I have done some Mario Kart, but yeah, Ian and Martin are the game lords. I think Ian's playing Animal Crossing just now.
Of course.
I forget. This is how bad I am. I'm like, I forget. Martin was playing a game. I don't know.
Have you found that your typing skills can help you, like if there's like a drum pad or a sampler, can you really rip it out with your typing skills?
No, I've been told you can tell what mood I'm in from the speed and ferocity of the typing. If I'm really pissed off at something that someone said, it's like it's very fast. And yeah, and Ian once made me play this game. Not made me, allowed me, suggested that I play this game, Typing of the Dead. I don't know. And it's basically Maybe Speaking, but you're trying to save people in a zombie apocalypse, I guess. So wow. That I'm good at. If that was a skill, I have it. I don't know what it's good for, but I have it.
You have it. Oh, wow. This was a wide-spanning conversation. Who would have thought when this started that we taught cats,
yes.
Intersectionality, and video games, and typing, all this, and aliens. Don't forget aliens.
Yes, all the UFOs, yeah.
I love it. Well, Lauren, thank you for taking the time. We hope to see you in Minnesota soon when it's safe and all that, and then we'll do an Air 5 if we can't touch yet. So
no, that sounds great. But thank you guys for having us, and thank you to everybody for logging on. People are asking about video games. I don't know anything. I don't know. Oh yeah, Martin's is he playing Resident Evil 3? There's a lot of Resident Evil in my life. The person I live with is playing Resident Evil as well. And whenever I go into the room, if he's playing FIFA, he sits down. If he's playing Resident Evil, he's standing up, like right at the screen.
I'm surprised you haven't had a song on the FIFA soundtrack. It's always very indie alternative pop.
We did. FIFA.
Did you really?
FIFA 14, my man. FIFA 14.
Oh my gosh, I spent hours prepping. I can't believe I lost that. I'm so sorry.
You got a lot of the more heavy information, so I let you away with them.
Oh, thank you. Well, hopefully I don't get fired for my lack of FIFA 14. All right, Lauren. We'll see you later.
So. All right, bye. Guys. Thank you.
Bye, Lauren.
Yeah.